Change is one of life's only guarantees. Yet most people resist it, fear it, or ignore it until it's too late. The real question is, how do you adapt when life moves your cheese? That's the central idea of Spencer Johnson's best-selling book, Who Moved My Cheese, first published in 1998. Told as a simple fable, the book uses 4 characters in a maze to illustrate how people respond to change. Despite its simplicity, its lessons are profound and widely applicable in business, relationships, health, and personal growth. Welcome to 10-Minute Books, the channel where we break down the world's most powerful books into practical lessons you can absorb in just 10 minutes. Today, we're exploring Who Moved My Cheese by Spencer Johnson, a short but powerful parable about embracing change and thriving in a world of uncertainty. The story. The book is told as a parable. 4 characters live in a maze. 2 mice named Sniff and Scurry, and 2 little people named Hem and Haw. They all spend their days searching for cheese which represents happiness, success, or whatever we value in life. One day, they discover a large stash of cheese at Cheese Station C. Everyone is happy. But while Sniff and Scurry continue to stay alert and check their surroundings, Hem and Haw grow complacent. They assume the cheese will always be there. Then one day, the cheese is gone. Sniff and Scurry immediately adapt. They put on their running shoes and head out into the maze to look for new cheese. Hem and Haw, on the other hand, feel shocked and betrayed. Hem refuses to leave. He clings to the old ways and complains, "Who moved my cheese?" Haw is afraid to change, but eventually he learns to laugh at his fears, venture into the maze, and discover new opportunities. The lesson of the mice. Sniff and Scurry represent the simplest way of dealing with change. They don't overthink or get emotional. They notice change quickly, accept it, and move on. Sometimes success is just about not overcomplicating things. When the cheese disappears, don't waste time blaming, analyzing, or resisting. Put on your shoes and go look for new cheese. The lesson of Hem and Haw. Hem and Haw represent the human tendency to resist change. Hem clings to the past. He's too afraid of the unknown and too comfortable with the familiar. Haw, on the other hand, eventually learns that fear is worse than the change itself. By facing his fear and adapting, he grows stronger and finds new cheese. Together, Hem and Haw show the cost of denial versus the reward of courage. Key principles. Johnson highlights several core lessons through the story. 1. Change happens. Cheese keeps moving. Life, business, and relationships are always shifting. Expect change instead of being surprised by it. 2. Anticipate change. Stay alert. Don't assume success will last forever. Keep your eyes open for shifts in your environment so you can respond quickly. 3. Adapt quickly. The faster you let go of old cheese, the sooner you find new cheese. Resisting reality only prolongs pain. 4. Change yourself. Instead of waiting for the world to change back, change your own attitudes and actions. 5. Enjoy change. Embrace the adventure. Change can lead to growth, opportunities, and unexpected joy. Writing on the wall. As Haw journeys through the maze, he writes lessons on the wall to remind himself and others. These include: smell the cheese often, so you know when it's getting old. What would you do if you weren't afraid? When you move beyond your fear, you feel free. The quicker you let go of old cheese, the sooner you find new cheese. These simple reminders are the heart of the book's wisdom. Fear and freedom. One of the book's most powerful ideas is that fear keeps us stuck. Hem stays behind because he's afraid of failure, afraid of the unknown. But Hoare learns that fear shrinks when you confront it. On the other side of fear is freedom. Often, our biggest obstacle isn't change itself, but the fear of change. Comfort versus growth. Another lesson is the danger of comfort zones. Hem and Haw grow comfortable at Cheese Station C and assume nothing will ever change. But comfort can be an illusion. When reality shifts, comfort turns into a trap. Growth requires leaving comfort and venturing into the maze again. Application in business. Who Moved My Cheese became especially popular in business settings. Companies use it to help employees deal with organizational change, layoffs, or new technology. The message is simple: don't cling to the old way of doing things. Adapt or risk being left behind. In business, cheese might represent customers, markets, or products. If you cling to the old cheese, you miss the opportunities waiting in the maze. Application in personal life. The book also applies to personal growth. Cheese can represent relationships, health, or happiness. Maybe your cheese is a relationship that ended, a job you lost, or an identity you outgrew. If you stay stuck in anger or denial, you suffer. But if you let go and explore new possibilities, you grow. For example, someone who refuses to move on after a breakup may live in constant pain. But the moment they let go and step back into the maze of life, they open themselves to new love and new growth. Or consider someone clinging to an outdated career path while their industry evolves. The ones who adapt, who retrain, reinvent, and stay curious find new cheese, while others starve waiting for the past to return. Case studies and stories. Over the years, countless readers have shared how the book helped them. A manager used it to help employees embrace restructuring. A divorced reader used it to move forward after heartbreak. A student used it to overcome fear of graduation and the unknown future. The fable's simplicity makes it universal. Anyone can see themselves in Sniff, Scurry, Hem, or Haw. Criticism and balance. Some critics argue that the book is too simplistic or that it trivializes real challenges like unemployment or illness. Others feel it's used by companies as a tool to pressure employees into accepting unfair change. But defenders argue that its power lies in its simplicity. The story doesn't solve every problem, but offers a mindset that makes problems easier to face. Modern relevance. Decades after its release, the book is still relevant. In a world of rapid technological disruption, global crises, and shifting economies, adaptability is more important than ever. And here's another layer. This book isn't just useful once. It's a book you can return to at different stages of life. Each time, the cheese represents something new, a career, a relationship, a dream, and the lessons land in fresh ways. The cheese keeps moving, and so does the meaning of the story. The big takeaway. Who Moved My Cheese teaches that change is inevitable. You can resist and suffer, or you can accept and grow. By letting go of the past, embracing uncertainty, and moving forward, you find freedom and new opportunities. The question is, are you stuck asking, who moved my cheese? Or are you already lacing up your shoes to find new cheese? That was Who Moved My Cheese by Spencer Johnson. Broken down in under 20 minutes. Which idea resonates most with you anticipating change, letting go quickly, or overcoming fear? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this summary, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to 10-Minute Books, and ring the bell so you never miss our weekly breakdowns of life-changing books. Thanks for watching, and remember, cheese will always move. The sooner you adapt, the sooner you thrive.